The BrahMos missile has returned to the spotlight in the Philippines' defense modernization program. When the first battery was delivered from India in 2023, it represented a symbolic achievement, the first supersonic missile system in Southeast Asia. But with the confirmation of a second batch scheduled for delivery this year, the symbolism is giving way to structure. The Philippines is now building a true coastal strike network designed to complement its sea denial capabilities. For a nation that has long relied on small ships and diplomatic protests, this shift marks the beginning of a new strategic era, deterrence through precision and reach. The timing could not be more critical. As tensions flare near Pagasa Island and Scarborough Shoal, the ability to threaten hostile vessels from land adds a powerful layer to Manila's defensive posture. The BrahMos is not intended to start a war. It is designed to prevent one. With a range of roughly 290 kilometers and a Mach 2.8 cruise speed, the missile can strike any ship operating within most of the West Philippine Sea's contested waters. Its deployment on the western coasts of Palawan and Luzon effectively closes several key maritime corridors to adversaries. The second battery, confirmed by Reuters in April 2025, ensures redundancy and the capacity for continuous readiness. For the first time, the Philippines can maintain a credible two-front deterrent across its western seaboard. While the BrahMos remains the flagship of this new strike network, it will not stand alone. South Korea has recently proposed the CTM-ASBM, a truck-launched anti-ship ballistic missile with a 160-kilometer range. This system would complement BrahMos by providing a short-range, high-angle coastal defense option, faster to launch, harder to intercept, and cheaper to operate. According to Asia Times, Seoul's offer is part of a broader strategic pattern. After supplying Fa-50 light fighters, Korea now seeks to expand cooperation into missile defense. If accepted, the Philippines would become one of the first nations to operate both supersonic cruise and quasi-ballistic coastal systems, creating overlapping zones of denial. Taken together, the BrahMos and CTM missiles, supported by assets like the Jose Rizal-class frigates and AW-159 Wildcat helicopters, form the nucleus of what defense planners call a kill web. Instead of a linear chain, detection, targeting, engagement, the system allows any sensor to cue any shooter. A Wildcat detecting a target with radar can relay coordinates to a BrahMos battery onshore. A coastal radar can feed data to a Jose Rizal's combat management system, which in turn guides a Blue Shark torpedo or ship-launched missile. This integration converts individual platforms into an interconnected deterrent network. Even with modest numbers, the Philippines can impose disproportionate risk on any hostile force entering its exclusive economic zone. Operationally, deploying these weapons requires careful calibration. Manila's Defense Department insists that the BrahMos is strictly defensive. Batteries are stationed in hardened mobile shelters, and their targeting systems are configured for anti-ship missions only, not land attack. Still, their presence changes the region's calculus. A Chinese frigate operating near Second Thomas Shoal must now assume that any aggressive move could be met by a high-speed strike from beyond visual range. Deterrence in this context works by uncertainty. The opponent can no longer act with impunity. Diplomatic reactions mirror this tension. Beijing has protested the missile deliveries, while India and Japan have publicly supported them as stabilizing deterrents. The United States and Australia have offered technical assistance in integrating the system into broader command and control networks. In New Delhi, BrahMos Aerospace has ramped up production to fulfill both Philippine and export orders, and Indian officials describe the partnership as a strategic anchor in Southeast Asia. For Manila, diversifying defense suppliers from South Korea and India to France is itself a form of resilience. The Philippines is building not just weapons, but diplomatic space. Still, technology alone does not guarantee deterrence. The success of the coastal strike network depends on sensors, communications, and sustainment. The BrahMos requires precise targeting data, something that depends on drones, patrol aircraft, and satellites. The upcoming Drone Warfare Summit in Subic Bay aims to address exactly this gap, showcasing plans for maritime surveillance UAVs that can relay targeting information directly to coastal batteries. Meanwhile, the Philippine Air Force's new FA-50 fighters, ordered from Korea Aerospace Industries in a $700 million USD deal, will be upgraded with Link 16 data links, allowing real-time coordination with naval and missile units. Slowly, the building blocks of a networked deterrence architecture are falling into place. The challenge is sustainability. Operating a mixed arsenal, Indian, Korean, American, stretches logistics and training capacity. Maintenance crews must adapt to multiple supply chains, spare part systems, and software interfaces. Coastal batteries require secure power, data protection, and physical hardening against sabotage or precision strikes. The government's proposed 2026 defense budget, up 16% to roughly $5.2 billion USD, reflects awareness of these demands. But even with increased funding, implementation will test the armed forces of the Philippines' ability to absorb technology faster than at any time in its history. Strategically, however, the payoff could be transformative. The BrahMos gives the Philippines what it has lacked for decades: credible reach. The CTM proposal offers flexibility. The Jose Rizal and Wildcat partnership delivers situational awareness. Together, they redefine Manila's defensive posture, from reactive to preemptive deterrence. Instead of responding to incursions after they happen, the Philippines can now shape behavior before it does. In a region dominated by larger navies, the ability to impose doubt is a power of its own. Ultimately, the coastal strike network is less about missiles than about mindset. It signals that the Philippines no longer accepts vulnerability as destiny. Every new battery, drone, and data link strengthens a web that forces adversaries to calculate rather than assume. The BrahMos returns moment is therefore not a headline. It is a hinge point. It shows that the Philippines has learned the logic of modern deterrence: deny access, maintain visibility, and build enough capability that war becomes the least attractive option. Under Horizon 3, that is the path from fragile presence to strategic resilience, one supersonic missile at a time.